This 380 acres would be a special place to call home. It's been very well kept by the current owners, and they've been here for a long time, since the mid-1980s, and I'm sure by now the land itself has to be deeply important, and it's easy to see why. It's 1 hour and 15 minutes from downtown Nashville to the southwest, tucked in a long and slender cove that cuts deep into a series of upland ridges across from Toddy's Bend of the lower Duck River in between Centerville and Little Lot, 10 minutes from Highway 100 and 30 minutes from either I-40 or the I-840 bypass. The property is 1.8 miles in length, and it features a beautiful little stream named Dry Creek. It runs water year-round, actually, and it passes from one end to the other, so around 2 miles of water on this place. You enter the mouth of a valley, and the first 1,000 yards in are led by a driveway that comes through a pretty park-like scene with wooded ridges rolling in on both sides, and the creek meanders through a collection of pretty fields in the bottom that are nice and level. Eventually, you catch a glimpse of a brick home perched on a knob about 30 feet in elevation above the valley floor. It's 2,260 square feet, 3 beds and 2.5 baths, and it has a beautiful view over a fair piece of ground. Everything you can see from here is part of the property. You can look down and see the creek running behind a small fenced pasture. There's a nice horse barn with power, another small fenced pasture, and across from that is a small house you could use for guests, and behind that a vehicle and equipment barn. At this point, I'd say you're about a third of the way along. The property keeps going for quite a ways into this upland creek valley. The bottom starts to really pinch down and the ridges kind of close in, and it gets more woody and edgy, and there's a couple plots back here as well. There's also a beautiful spring that emerges on the property that eventually joins Dry Creek. It's a cave spring, and it's always a treat to see water features like this when you come across them. Throughout the length of this place, you'll notice many hollows and draws, and they press deeply into the ridge lines, and that's what gives you these knobby ridge spurs everywhere you look, and your boundaries extend up and over most of these. Good trails get you around up here. It's mostly wooded, but you do have a 3-acre field on top of one, a 4-acre field on top of another, and some small plots peppered around, and a 4.5-acre field as well that opens out on a hillside adjacent to the house. Having a home in this intimate valley gives you absolute privacy. You have instant access to the land because you're here all the time. It is genuinely quiet. It feels like you could stand on the porch and touch the other side of the valley.